River City Podcast Federation.
Welcome back to Laughing in the Dark, the podcast where I hang out in haunted places with comedians. I'm your host, Sara Jones. For this episode, I got to hang out in a very awesome place called the Lovecraft Bar in Portland, Oregon, with a very awesome comedian named Amanda Arnold. I had so much fun with Amanda at this super rad, horror-themed dance bar. Amanda Arnold is an absolute legend. I could not possibly love her more. Her brilliant, fast-paced, honest, and commonsensical style earned her a bi-monthly show at Helium Comedy Club in her hometown of Portland, Oregon, where she is a regular, having the privilege to work with other brilliant comics. Amanda was named one of the top 5 funniest comics in Portland by the Willamette Week in 2016, and is a 2-time winner of PDX Dirty Dozen Roast Battle. She has also been selected to showcase in the All Jane Comedy Festival, Idaho Laugh Fest, Bridgetown Comedy Festival, Laughs on Fusion, as well as featuring and headlining all over the Pacific Northwest. Amanda produced the Undertow Comedy Festival in Lincoln City, Oregon, featuring comics such as Ron Funches, Jeff Dye, and Judah Friedlander. It's no wonder Amanda has been so successful. She did stand-up comedy for the first time when she was only 8 years old. Turns out some people are just born funny. Amanda and I had such a good time at the Lovecraft Bar. Absolutely one of the coolest places I have ever been. Here's the episode. I hope you love it.
Have you read Stiffs?
No.
Mary Roach, Stiffs?
No.
Oh yeah, it's the best book. It's all about different aspects of death, and it opens up with her going in to a medical school, and they're learning, it's a cosmetic surgery school, and they're all learning how to do nose jobs that day, but it's just a big amphitheater with just heads. Everybody's got a head on their desk.
Like real human heads?
Yeah, and she was like, my first thought was, who cuts off their heads?
Yeah.
Whose job's that? But yeah.
It's someone probably being paid minimum wage that's trying to get experience to get into medical school.
Yeah, it takes some shoulder work to cut off. I've seen doctors cut off dog legs, and that takes a little bit of,
Yeah, you gotta mean it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Sorry, I'm chatty.
No, that's great. Do you want to know why this place is haunted?
Yeah.
Okay, let's find a good spot to hang out, and then we'll do a tour, huh?
I'm gonna leave that there, or I'm gonna keep messing with it.
Yeah. Do I have my...
Let's just sit on the stage.
You can do whatever you want, man. If you want to hang out with us, you can. If you have stuff to do. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. It's very laid back. I make the rules, and I don't care.
You're like, it's my
show. People are like sometimes I have mini-sodes, people call in and tell me their ghost stories. And sometimes people are like, is it okay if I have a demon possession story? And I'm like, of course it is. It's more than okay. Stop it. We need to schedule you immediately. Actually, my manager just asked me a couple weeks ago, she goes, you probably don't want this story, but someone emailed in and they said they got raped by a ghost. Do you want to hear that? And I was like, Sara, shame on you. Of course I do. Schedule them immediately.
Was it kind of hot?
I don't know. I haven't heard the call yet because I don't know what the stories are going to be when they come in. I just know the name and the phone number. So I just call them and then they tell me their ghost story. So my reactions are real.
So who do you work for?
I work for myself. It's my idea. My manager is my friend Sara. My producer is Randy.
Why I was like, manager, yeah. We hired Randy to do our podcast.
He's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love him. All right, cool. So let's begin. I'm going to use my little handy dandy flashlight.
Can you see that?
It's no, I have to up my prescription on my glasses as it is.
I need glasses really bad.
Oh my God, it's the worst.
I'm going to have insurance in 15 days.
So yeah, there you go.
There you go.
So before we get started, I always do a rundown on my sources, but this one is mainly firsthand accounts that I've heard of people being here. So I talked to Frank, who is in charge of booking here. He's also been a bartender here for 6 years. And I also consulted Wikipedia.
Of course.
to fill in.
Of course you did.
Absolutely. So we are at the Lovecraft Bar in Portland, Oregon. The Lovecraft Bar, if you've never been here, is a horror-themed dance club with a heavy focus on goth, industrial, underground, and transgressive art and music. They host bands, drag nights, burlesque, and performance art, and have DJs and dancing every night with various themes.
No comedy? What the hell? Anyway,
Well, yet. That's about to change in just a few more minutes.
Right.
In their own words, this bar pays tribute to the world of the weird, the macabre, and horror in music, movies, art, and literature. So basically, it's like the coolest place I've ever been.
Yeah, it's insane looking here. It's awesome.
It's so awesome being here. Just really quick for listeners, we literally just walked in. We're going to do a little tour later, but
it's 93 degrees outside, by the way.
It's very warm outside. I'm a freak and I love it being hot, so I'm just like, it's great out and everyone's just panicking.
It's gross. It's gross. I hate it. It's so hot.
So yeah, we just walked in here and it's dark but colorful. There's lots of colored lights. There are awesome things on the wall. You could just come here and just stare at things on the wall, honestly.
If a vampire was gonna do a DIY flip on a bar, it's here.
Yeah.
He did it.
Definitely, yes. And we'll talk about it. There's all kinds of like skeletons everywhere. Like it's
Black
awesome.
walls.
It's like walking into a commercial haunted house. Like
no regular color lights, just all blue, red, green,
and black light.
And black lights.
Which makes it's great light for Instagram. We found out.
It is.
Everyone looks very good here. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this place is rad. This bar has been voted as one of the top 10 theme bars in the world several times and has even been compared to popular fictional bars from fantasy and sci-fi literature and film, including the Cantina on Tatooine of Star Wars, Tolkien's bar in Lord of the Rings, the Prancing Pony, and even the Slaughtered Lamb of American Werewolf in London. This bar is named for H.P. Lovecraft, an American horror fiction writer who unfortunately became famous after his death. Lovecraft is best known.
Suck.
Doesn't that suck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Edgar Allan Poe got real famous like after he died too.
And what's the guy that cut off his ear? Van Gogh.
Bingo, yeah.
Yeah, he got famous after. Van Gogh? Yes.
I don't know. I'm just making shit up.
It's true.
I just want to fit in.
Lovecraft is best known for his stories about Cthulhu, which was first introduced in a story he wrote for the pulp magazine Weird Tales in 1928.
Have you ever read that?
No. Have you?
Yeah,
is it amazing?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's something I've always wanted to read.
Yeah, it's really, really good.
Yeah,
I mean,
it sounds
we gotta take it with a grain of salt that horror was different back then. So it's good for back then. It's still a literary like masterpiece, but like it's not like today's. You know,
how is it different?
It's prettier, I guess. But
I love that. It's like more poetic and pretty.
Yeah.
See, I love it. And there's not just one story. There's like multiple stories in like the lore. Yeah, I'm gonna probably binge them after this episode. So Cthulhu is described as a giant creature worshipped by cultists. His appearance is a blend of an octopus, a dragon, and a human form. Lovecraft.
It's the huge octopus on the wall.
And that one right there, which is amazing looking. I took a picture for the Instagram. Yeah, and there's painted on, there's like octopus, what are those called? I almost said talons because I'm retarded. Tentacles. Yeah. That's painted on the wall. This place is just really cool. I'm going to take a lot of pictures for Instagram, and this is the first location I've been at that I've been bummed that I can only take 9 pictures. So, plus your headshot.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and they can also go to my Instagram and look at. I'll take a bunch of pictures.
Oh yeah, absolutely. What's your Instagram? Let's plug it real quick.
It's Amanda Grace Funny Face.
Amanda Grace Funny Face.
That's it.
I'll say it in the outro as well, I'm sure.
All right.
Okay, great. So Lovecraft lived and died in poverty, publishing his works only in pulp magazines, but is now one of the most celebrated 20th century authors in his genre. That sucks. Doesn't that suck?
I guess it's better to be famous at some point than not at all.
Yeah.
Because I think that's everybody's fear, is to die and then leave nothing, no legacy, and nobody remembers you, and everything you did was useless. I mean,
there's a word for, I think it's like in Japanese culture, like there's a word for you die twice. Like you die once when your body dies, and the second time you die is the last time someone mentions your name. And so
that's a real bummer. I never thought of that. That's that's the last person that talked about
it. But if you think about it, it makes perfect sense, doesn't it? Because there are so many people that have been forgotten. But H.P. Lovecraft clearly has not. And his name even lives on in this place.
What about those people that just never get claimed? Like, they just hang out in a morgue for a while, and then they're like...
They're double dead.
Yeah,
they did it. They're done.
I don't think that's the same thing as doubling up.
No, I think it's double down. Double keep you down. Yeah, that's a bummer. This is sad.
I never thought about, like, the last time somebody mentions you. That's a really profound thought.
It is,
like,
though.
There will be a time, unless you end up famous.
And you.
Yeah. That... somebody it might be the last time. It's just like a passing comment at a bar.
Well, I don't know how specific it is because my name is super common. It's Sara Jones. So maybe if people just mention my name at all, I'm good.
I had a friend that was named Sarah Jane Smith, and I was like, your mom didn't love you. She was like, I don't care. Name her Jane Doe. I don't care.
Right. My name is Sarah Elizabeth Jones, and both of my parents thought they were like really creative.
Well, there's no H on it.
No H.
So there you go.
That's, yeah, absolutely.
My name's Amanda Grace Arnold, and I thought that the song Amazing Grace was Amanda Grace till I was 14. I was singing it, my name, and my mom's like, what are you singing? And she's like, it's not it.
This is my ballad written for me.
Yes, it's a famous song that I'm named after. I'm actually named after Miss Kitty on Gunsmoke, who died of AIDS.
Oh, well, same thing. Same thing, kind of.
Anyway.
Okay, so like most buildings this close to the river, this building may at one time have been a brothel, speakeasy, or a gambling hall. This whole general area has a bit of a dicey past.
Yeah.
And we were talking earlier, it's kind of difficult to find information about these places because I don't think they wanted you to.
Yeah, they weren't probably on the up and up. Like,
just so you know, this used to be a speakeasy. It wasn't announced. That's the point.
A big neon sign that says, hey.
Whereas now it's like, nudes, get in here, check this out.
Nitrous and boobies,
I saw a sign for some strip club on the side of the road the other day that said, the ultimate experience.
Is it really?
It was like the shadiest looking, like shitty little shack. I'm sure it is.
The ultimate.
I didn't explore it. I don't know.
Do you remember the one on like was 113th and I think it was 113th in Palo. It's called the Pitiful Princess.
No, I love the Pitiful Princess. Like, I really want a hoodie from there.
I love them for naming that.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, they're just like, you know what? Let's call it like we see it.
You know what? Bless them.
Right?
Will you guys sponsor us, please?
I think they went out of business.
Oh, fuck. Really?
I think they got busted for selling meth out the back.
That's the ultimate experience. Is buying meth in the back of the Pitiful.
I don't think a lot of those girls are having the ultimate experience.
Well, how do you know? Maybe they were.
Maybe they're.
Shit, I really wanted a hoodie from them.
Right?
That sucks.
You could still make your
Bring
own.
it back. We'll work on something. We should set. Okay, if this podcast goes under, I'm opening a new Pitiful Princess. That's what's happening.
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, so this building has a mysterious history. Many businesses did not stay open on Grand Avenue for very long. About 10 years ago, the front half of this bar, where we're sitting in right now, it was a coffee shop. Later, it became a ceramic studio. Then it was empty before the Lovecraft actually opened up.
And how long has Lovecraft been here?
7 years.
7
years. Thank you. So the back half of this building used to be a part of the Shop People Artist Collective until only a couple of years ago when Lovecraft took that space over as well. The building itself has stories. This is where it's going to get fun.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
I'm excited.
So the floor was an old gymnasium, surely holding the memories of bouncing basketballs and sneakers running. Just like, I always use my imagination about like what a place used to be and like the memories that it takes with it. Some of the walls here were salvaged from a burned down library in Eastern Oregon. Again, the stories that these walls could tell.
I'm having fun now. I was thinking about like little kids falling and like smashing their face during dodgeball on these, like, you know what I mean?
Yes,
like,
yes. And like the emotion that goes along with the gymnasium. Like
not being picked.
Not being picked, and then also like nailing it, like what that must feel like. I don't know.
Or dances, like
school dances,
yeah,
assemblies.
dances. Yeah.
Yes, so many memories. And then in a burnt down library. I imagine people doing research for school, for work projects. taking their kids, learning to read. Then, of course, the memories of a library fire.
Yeah, and all the resources that are in there too, like people's histories. Like,
Yeah.
there's something weird about burning books.
Yes,
Like, I don't know
Fahrenheit
why that is
451.
so weird. It's just very, I don't know, you don't burn books.
I even wrote in my notes, because like I'm like thinking as I'm like doing the research, I said all of those pages with all of those stories and the obvious fear and anxiety during a fire.
Yeah, and
Like, all of
that's
those
direct information coming from your brain, through your arms, through your fingertips, and somebody had to that's direct energy onto paper. Like, it's something to be said.
Yeah, absolutely. And those are in the walls here as well. Before the construction began on the back half of the building, the basement in that part was still vacant.
Oh.
What was that? Ice machine. Okay, good deal. I mean, like, it would be better if it was a ghost, but...
They probably wonder who we're talking to. We have one of the staff members here who's going to tell us what all the bumps are that we don't know what are.
Oh, yeah. yeah, just in the background. What if we're talking to a ghost?
Ghost is fine. He's cool.
We're alone here, but someone keeps answering these questions, and it's so helpful.
Ghost found.
Verified. Okay, yeah, so before the construction began on the back half of the building, after that artist collective group left, the basement in that part was still vacant. And at this time, a homeless man broke into the building and got between the walls where he died.
Ooh, he got stuck?
Well, I don't know how he died. I don't know if he froze to death. I don't know if he died of starvation of some kind or sickness. Overdose, maybe.
Not to throw stones.
Or maybe he was dying and sought comfort in the wall, like wanted to be protected
like a cat
somewhere.
under a porch?
I was thinking of like a dog, like a basset hound or something, like when they
I'm a cat person, but yeah.
I'm a cat person too, so it's kind of weird.
Cats crawl under porches to die.
Yeah, or in I've heard of dogs going under like trees and stuff like that, and so that's like kind of one of the things I thought of too. I have no idea.
When was that?
So that would have been a couple years ago, because that was when they were still doing construction on the building.
So that was probably...
Oh, 8 years ago. Okay, so that's when they were doing construction on the building to make it Lovecraft. Okay, I see. So yeah, it was about, this is really helpful. I'm probably just full of shit on most of my episodes. I'm like, I assume.
He's like, pulls the mic off us. Let me just tell you what happened.
He's like, it's like, this is absurd. Okay, so someone died in the walls here. That's enough to
I wonder, where do you know where that was at?
I don't know where it was at. I know it was within the walls somewhere.
Something creepy about
But
dying
it was in the back area when the
the
basement was vacant. So it would have been back here.
I picture the dad that wants to surprise his kid and dressed up like Santa Claus and dies in the fireplace.
Does that happen? I guess it probably does.
That's a real thing.
Yeah.
It happened a lot more back in the day.
Yeah.
But they'd be like, I'm gonna be Santa, and then you're like, why
Merry
did Daddy
Christmas.
come home? He's a piece of shit, he left us. And then you're like, why does the fireplace stink?
Or it smells great. It smells like burning meat.
Dad's missing, but we got prime rib.
But God, it smells good in here. Christmas Day.
Meat is
Mom,
meat.
what's cooking? Oh God, we're deranged. This is great.
I love fireplace meat when it drops down.
Oh yeah, the dripping fat smell.
So terrible.
So delicious. I think they make fake meat that's supposed to taste like human flesh. Have you heard of that?
Nobody know that? Islanders called us long pig because apparently we taste just like pork, which would make sense. I say on stage that I'm the color of canned ham. I am. I'm pink. I'm pale. I don't turn brown at all.
Yeah.
I probably taste porky, I would assume.
I hope I taste good.
It's a chubby face.
I don't know how I taste, but I hope it's good. There was someone who recently just...
Probably what you eat, too. There's a reason we don't eat street pigeons, because they eat garbage.
That's true. Yeah.
Vegans probably taste better.
I try to eat healthy. Probably tastes great. There is a guy who just had his foot amputated recently that he fed it to his friends. Did you hear about that?
That is unforgivable. That is
No, I think they were down. I think they were all into it.
That's a
Yeah,
good
right?
friend, man. Like, that's your feet, too. That's the last thing I'm eating. Like, I'm
No,
not eating
yeah.
your fucking feet.
Not
Gross.
eating, just like I'll take just a toe.
I want like a haunchy spot, like right here, like a meaty spot, like at the bottom, like at the top of your hip, like
Yeah.
where they give you
Yeah.
shots. I bet that's good.
Oh yeah,
It's like brisket.
Yeah, like a good ass cheek.
Maybe a shoulder blade. I don't know.
I don't know. Well, yeah, because it'd be like chicken.
Yeah, it'd be lean.
Okay, so people have experienced a wide variety of paranormal activity here. When the Lovecraft occupied just the front part of the building, they had only one exit. So because of that, whenever they were closing up, after they had turned the lights off, and all of these lights, like there's a shitload of lights in here, right?
Yeah.
They had no choice but to walk from the bar to the door across the dance floor alone in the darkness. So you kind of can like trace their steps here. Well, that's exactly. So I even said, what's interesting is when you picture yourself in that scenario, I at least would imagine wanting to run as fast as I can to just get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
However, all the bartenders who worked at Lovecraft at that time shared the same peculiar feeling of something not wanting them to leave.
Aww.
So they were always terrified to shut the door of the bar and actually leave. Strangely, they've never felt uncomfortable sleeping in the bar at night, as though staying was giving the entity what it wants.
I don't know if that's OSHA approved.
Well, should I cut that out? You're like, who gives a shit? Great. So this entity was not described to me as a ghost necessarily. It was not described with a gender or personified at all. It was simply described as, quote, whatever it was, unquote.
Like a feeling.
More than a feeling. And what's interesting about that is
we haven't seen anything yet, right? This is just them being
this is a feeling of a presence.
They want to shut the door.
Yeah, they're terrified to shut the door. So what's crazy is this is not the first time I've heard this. I have a mini-sode episode. I have a mini-sode, right?
Yeah.
Where someone called in and told me their ghost story, and they were in, I think it's in New York, and it was an abandoned insane asylum.
This is what I do when I have a story. Go ahead. So
you do?
Forget.
Okay,
Yeah,
don't forget. I'll be quick. And they went into this abandoned insane asylum, and they were afraid to leave because they felt like the presence wanted them there.
My mom, I was 15 when my mom died, and she died in November. And when I was home alone, I would open every single window and door in the house because if they were closed, it was fucking terrifying. And my mom also messed with us. She was she was not a normal mom. We'd go camping and she'd
when she was living?
Yeah, she'd be like, do you see red eyes in the woods and shit? She'd always fuck with us.
That's rad.
But it's still I felt like I couldn't. So my dad had come home and he'd be like, why are all the doors and windows open? So I don't know, it's kind of a little bit of a stretch, but I kind of know what that feels like. I didn't want any of the doors and windows closed. I had to have them open.
It felt scary. Yeah, that's what that guy described to me too in the insane asylum, that he felt afraid to leave. And then once he got through that window, he wanted to go back into the window. He was afraid of the window to get out. He didn't want to go through. His buddy had to push him out there. Once he came out, he was attracted to going back in.
This is super hippy dippy, but it's if you want to delve into shit,
I do.
Maybe it's a portal. Maybe
that's exactly what we said.
Maybe it's a portal.
It seemed like a portal.
You're not capable of going through, but you can feel it. You can sense that it's there. You're just not capable of traveling through whatever dimension is there, but you still know that it's there.
It's
an out of order dimension.
That mini-sode is not aptly named because it's an hour long, but it's called Welcome to Hell.
I will listen to it.
You should listen to that one. That's a really good one. Great. Where were we?
People close the door.
The only time that this thing, whatever it was, seemed to feel negative was when people would try to leave. Great. But this mysterious entity is not the only spiritual presence in this bar. Other spirits have routinely been seen here. One bartender claimed to have seen someone coming down the stairs while she was leaving, who evidently wasn't really there. Two other bartenders both have shared the experience of seeing a person standing in the back bar, facing the wall, looking as though they were waiting for something. He appeared so vividly to the bartender that he became confused and assumed it was another employee that just forgot something and came back inside. The bartender even spoke to the spirit. As he walked toward the figure and spoke to him, he began to realize that this was not another employee, And just then, he turned and looked away, and when he looked back, the figure was gone. Yeah?
Yeah, I'm thinking, like, because it makes you wonder, is it really spirits? Or could it be that it is just something so bad happened that they're like Polaroids? They're like...
Imprints.
They're imprints. They're like flashes. So you're getting a chance to see a flash of something that happened.
Yeah.
Maybe that guy stood there and then he walked out in the alley and blew his brains out or whatever. Or, you know, maybe he'd killed somebody that night. Yeah. So is it that the energy's so strong it puts an imprint on the ground right there? Or is it, you know... I don't know. Why don't they try harder to like talk to us?
I know.
I think all the ghosts are hanging out with Bigfoot. They're all just like, fuckers.
They're all in like with the creature from the Black Lagoon or whatever it is.
Tupac, Elvis. They're all hanging out.
Yeah. Our parents.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, whatever, suckers. I don't want to say hi to you. I lived my whole life with you pretty much. All right. So one time a bartender came in to open and noticed the light was on in an upstairs room. This was confusing, seeing as how they always turn off all the lights when they close for the night. Naturally, he assumed this had simply been an oversight until he began to mop the floor and noticed that the light upstairs had turned off. Creeped out, he called the owner to see if he was in the building, but was told that the owner was out of town. When he went upstairs to the room, he attempted to open the door, only to find that the door was locked. He took out his keys, unlocked the door, walked in, and turned the light back on. This is my own impression of that. Because he was able to turn the light back on, he couldn't just assume that it had been left on all night and just, you know, the light died, burnt out. So there was nobody else in the building. The room was locked.
So the light went off when he was looking up there?
It's like he looked up and was like, oh shit, there's a light on upstairs, and then kept mopping, and then looked up again, and while he looked up, he saw the light turn off.
That was really nice of the ghost.
And you're like, sorry.
trying to save you some steps.
Yeah. So that's weird.
And then he went up and turned it back on. I'll give the lighting shit, like in old buildings, that can be a little janky.
That's true.
But when you have feelings, that's, you know, and for people to have the same exact feelings.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, eating LSD and seeing the same shit. Like, you know, you're like, how is this possible? But like, I don't know.
Can I inject something?
Yeah.
Yes, please. Well, do you want to come close so we can record you? Sorry.
It wasn't actually the light attached to the building. It's like a pan light that you have to physically turn off.
Oh. So it was a pan. It wasn't part of the. So it was like plugged into the wall.
Plugged into the wall.
Like one of those clippy metal lamps?
Yes. You have to actually.
Yeah, like
you
a
have to actually
lamp.
clip.
Probably still up there. But,
wow.
Yeah, that turned off.
Mm-hmm.
Did
the person hear the click? Like the...
No, it was him. It was him who experienced those.
So it just went off.
I didn't know how like anonymous you wanted to be, so I said the bartender.
It was on and then it was off, and I went up there, the door was locked, and that sucked.
Yeah.
Because it sucked.
Then I had to deal with that.
Yeah. And you're like, great, guess I'm at
There was
work.
a part of you that was like, that light could just be off.
Either someone was in there and that would have been awful, or no one was in there and that's
even more awful.
Yeah. Oh my God. Wouldn't it be terrible if it was a living person? That's the worst.
Yeah,
like I'm way more afraid of the living.
Home invasion's way scarier than ghosts.
Absolutely. Yeah. My podcast is dumb. I should do home invasions. Home invasions with comedians.
Somebody came in I won't digress. Oh, sorry. Somebody came in our house the other day and was like sleeping, like laying on our couch on speakerphone, a drunk guy. We live right in Southeast Portland. And my roommate came in and he's like, who are you waiting? Who are you? And the guy was like, hold on, man, I'm on the phone.
Don't be rude.
Long story short, he got choke slammed and thrown out of our house.
Yeah.
And then they were scared that they cracked his head open.
Oh, Jesus.
Don't go on.
Did he die?
No.
Oh.
Like, that'd be weird.
That'd be horrible.
So my brother's in jail.
Yeah, right. Self-defense, for sure.
Yes.
All right, so once a bartender witnessed a plastic skull.
You got this.
Thank you. Suddenly rolling across the floor upstairs as though someone had gently rolled it in front of him.
Nope.
There was no wind and nothing else moving in the room to explain this.
Nope. I leave. I'm like, that's fine.
That's
I
plenty.
quit. I'm done.
And to be fair, there's like a shitload of plastic skulls in here, so that's really just like any object was being thrown.
Right? It could be any time of day right now. Like, there's not like, oh, I'll go on and open the bar today, because I mean, like, something scary happened last night, but at least it's daylight out. I'll just like open the windows. Like, it's like Vegas in here. It could be any time of day. There's not one window in here.
No. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome. Okay. So many employees note the general creepy and ominous feelings here, like you were talking about, especially in certain areas. This is, of course, partially intentional, because that's the atmosphere here. But what people feel here tends to linger beyond just plastic skulls and horror tropes. What people feel here tends to awaken something much more primal within them.
Okay.
That's what I got for you.
Primal.
Yes, ma'am.
I like that.
Thank you.
Is that the fear of not wanting to close the door and stuff, do you think?
The fear, that, and I think like when you have a general feeling when something's not right, and it's not just with dead people, I think like when you meet a living person,
oh, yeah,
you can just feel like this person's off.
Yeah.
And I can't say why, but something is bizarre here. And I call that a primal instinct, you know?
Yeah, it's an animal. Yeah, I get it.
How do you want to?
Well, I mean,
Okay, so
it's your
originally it was
home.
just this room.
Okay,
Just
so
this
it's
room.
just this front room at first. Look, did you see the skeleton out of the casket? That's
Yep.
And it stopped at this door.
cool. Okay,
So this door was here, but behind it was shop people.
was the other, okay, yeah.
Okay.
People often fought with that door trying to get through there.
Drunk people being like, it won't
Like you
open, I
can't
gotta
go
take
in
a
there.
piss.
You don't live here. What are you doing?
This door was here, but there was a booth in front of it.
Uh-huh.
And then there was a woman who had an art studio just in this room.
Okay.
And this room is weird because
I should probably get a picture of me in that
Yes.
casket.
but the upstairs of the Lovecraft is up here,
Uh-huh.
and then the bar is right there. So it occupied this really strange space where it's still
Yeah.
kind of inside the bar.
Yeah, it's weird.
Then one day these 3 caskets arrived.
Did somebody just ship them here?
Yeah.
Did they give them as a gift or something?
No,
or-
they were bought.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't a surprise.
Yeah.
I was like,
Is this for people to lay in?
This is like our photo booth, basically.
What?
yeah, of
Can
course,
people
of course
lay in
it is.
there?
Yeah, it's comfortable.
Amazing.
worse. I thought I gotta straighten things. Oh, there's your note. You're welcome.
Great. I'm going to
It's
say this just in
nothing.
case you
Why?
get famous.
I gotta cover this.
This is going to go on just the personal Instagram, but it's still amazing. Love it. You
I like
look
how my
so
legs are
dead.
like this. Like I'm dead, but I'm chill.
I'm dead, but I'm comfortable.
Okay, I gotta take a selfie now.
Definitely do
Awesome.
it.
Instagram story. I'm coming. Sorry.
No, don't be
This is
sorry. That's
fun.
the best.
This is where I get
Do
ready.
we? Is this back room open too?
Yes, we'll go back there.
Okay.
Let me see. I'll show you the upstairs.
Okay. Oh,
Where do
sweet.
you
We're
feel
fine
like
on
is the
time.
creepiest place in the whole
It's in the
joint?
back. I'll show you.
Okay,
Oh
cool.
yeah,
Save
he's
the
got
best
this
for
all
last.
timed out and love it.
Like I was saying, right now it's fine in here.
Yeah.
But lights are off, and it was the walk coming down the stairs, or coming from here and walking to here.
Yeah.
You have to turn around, shut the door, and that's when you would hope you didn't see something.
But then you'd also be afraid.
Do you
to
feel like
look at
something's
it.
behind you, or do you feel like you're experiencing what somebody else has felt?
It feels like this.
Like they're pulling
pulling
you back.
Like physically, you feel it?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Wow.
And
I'm gonna take a picture of this doorway actually,
Yeah, me
because this is
too.
a good. Usually comedians are so irritated when I'm taking pictures for the,
Oh,
I'm
come
like,
on.
this is for the Instagram, and you're like, me too. I love it.
Speaking of Me Too, my dad, I posted that Me Too thing on there just trying to be like, yeah, I support everybody. And my dad posted, that's my baby girl, I could use some Amanda time. He didn't know what it meant.
Oh no.
And he called me baby girl. And
worst.
it's my baby girl. I could
You're
use
just like,
some
this
Amanda
is what I'm
time."
talking about.
I don't know. I replied and was like, I'm too old to keep secrets. Anyway.
so that's another one of the coffins that showed up. The inside was totally gutted, so we couldn't use it for people to hang out.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Up the door.
Where did
It's
you guys
cool,
buy
though.
them from?
They were bought from a funeral.
This is beautiful.
This is from Italy. This
Yeah,
is,
this
wow.
is beautiful. Yeah.
Caskets are really expensive
and
too.
These are
You should stand in front of that.
Okay.
Children's coffins from the 20s.
Oh my god,
I
that's
love that
awesome.
shit. Oddities. That's really cool.
That's way cool. Children's caskets from the 20s. So then they weren't
There's just
used?
always something weird about dead kid stuff.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know. I mean, you're not supposed to sell or possess caskets that have been used because
Yeah, because it's a biohazard.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, we get the
So
exclusive
this is just
entry.
used as a green room for performers.
Have you experienced anything weird up here?
No, but this is the site of the plastic skull.
Oh, really?
Ooh.
So we just walked
Well,
upstairs.
vanities, man. I was just talking about that.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody's banged in this casket, right? Like,
At
have
least
you
the
banged in this
downstairs
casket?
one.
Sorry, he's banged in this casket.
Or at least the one downstairs. I'm sure.
No, this one that has a door.
Oh,
We're
you're
in the
right.
green room right now for people that are listening. It's gotta take a picture.
There's no entry. You're not allowed up here.
Yeah, you're not comfortable.
Oh, really?
It's the one you sleep in if you stay.
Oh, you sleep in a casket when you stay
It's
here?
really comfortable.
I'm gonna try it.
let's
Okay, I'll
picture-
try it.
I'll get a picture of you.
What,
Do
you mind
comics
holding-
ever offer to take your
this?
picture?
No.
They're mean.
Are you getting good angles too?
Uh-huh.
You're the best. I'm gonna take my shoes off because I'm probably gonna take a nap.
Oh, it's warm up here.
Oh my god, it is! There's like memory foam in here. Oh wait, let me get in.
You're all posy.
Yeah.
You ready? Turn your phone upside down. It's distracting. There you go.
What about?
It looks like you're on vacation. It's hilarious.
Dude, this is actually a really.
Can you look dead for me, please? Every
Should I
boyfriend
take off my
dated in the early
glasses, or do the
2000s.
dead need glasses?
Oh, there you go. Oh, can you look dead for me, please?
No, sorry.
It's called the limp game. There you go.
This is
Thank
why
you.
I can't be an actress. Okay, are we good?
Yeah. Sorry. I got you.
This is like memory foam. I totally see. I at first was like, you'd sleep in a casket, and I was like, oh, I would sleep in a casket.
Yeah, you put like a tennis ball here and close the lid when it's like 30 degrees outside.
Yes.
Like
Keep it warm? Yeah.
when
Makes
there's-
it really
when there's
dark,
the ice
too.
Storm and you actually couldn't leave.
Oh, but getting
Yeah,
out
because
might
you
not
would
be
breathe in
easy.
there and that it would circulate and it would get warm. That's super cool.
That's really nice. And then it would be so dark because I hate the window light in my room. I want to sleep here. I'd be like, you guys, if something happens with my rent, I'd be like, you guys, do you remember me? Can I sleep in that casket? And these are pictures from like classic horror movies. So you have anywhere from like The Exorcist to Mars Attacks, Frankenstein, all kinds of stuff. Chucky.
It's cool looking.
This is awesome.
This skull was given to us by drag queen who performs here.
Oh, cool. Is it haunted? Or?
Yes.
Oh,
She said
really?
that whoever had it, bad things happen, so she brought it here. For us.
You're like, great,
Well, yeah.
thanks.
I had one of those when I was a kid.
Exactly like this?
Not exactly. I had a yellow dress.
Weird. Did bad things happen?
No.
This is like
Those
their
were really
Annabelle.
popular back in the day.
I can see why you've stayed here so long, because like, I'm sure you guys are like a family too if you work somewhere a long time. What's this about?
I don't know, that just showed up.
Oh, that's just like, oh, rad.
All right. You're too tall for this place.
That's that.
All the ceilings are so low.
Okay, we go in the back.
Okay. And that's the scariest part?
Yes.
Great.
You know.
Come on.
Oh, this is so pretty.
Just so visually stimulating. You're just
It
like, I don't
really
know. Hold on. I
is.
don't know what to take pictures of.
I mean, like, if you're not into, like, goth, industrial music, which, I mean, explore. If you haven't checked it out, do it. Do something different. You're in Portland. But come
If
here
you
for the
don't have a favorite
aesthetic.
Cure album, then...
Right.
Right.
For real. This is such a cool spot.
Outside, you can see that the building is shifting.
This is beautiful.
And you can see the foundation of the walls are all in one way.
Uh-huh.
Very Lovecraft and it's
Yeah.
geometry. And even back here, this whole floor slants this way.
Oh, it does. Yeah, you can totally tell. Are these local artists, some of these on the wall here? Like, oh no, Clive Barker.
These are, Clive Barker.
Holy shit, really?
Are these local artists?
I didn't read it.
I'm sorry, I'm an asshole.
Dory, I'll cut that out so I don't
This is just this little guy.
dumbass.
It's like, you better not cut that out.
So, kind of hard to describe. A lot of this wasn't back here. This was all kind of open. And they put in this bar, this wall. This dropped down like this. This archway was here. There's our one light. Sunlight.
That's how you know it's daylight.
Okay, I'm not trying to be that person. It has a different energy over here. It doesn't feel as cool. Like it feels. I don't know if it's the red windows. I don't know what it is. It doesn't feel as awesome over here.
You mean like you feel like an ominous presence back here?
I wouldn't say an ominous presence. It does. It feels a little good over here. Like I don't know what.
Use your words.
Yeah, I don't have them though. I don't know.
Oh yeah, it feels
over there. Feels really chill.
It does
and
feel
like
different. The
out-y.
windows.
But you come over here and it kind of just feels depressing. I guess would be the word that I would use. It's a little depressing over here.
Well, this would be the part of the building that the person died in.
Oh, it is? Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that actually makes total sense. Remember, because it was the back of the room when the basement was still vacant. And so someone died in these walls.
So this is the spot where
I can't quite take pictures.
right
It is just so cool.
standing right here, looking this way, where I saw a person and where another bartender saw.
Okay, I recognize
this
this.
well.
Just staring, looking at nothing?
Yeah, like they were waiting for something.
Okay,
Yeah.
so they were standing at the end of the bar right here.
Right here. And then he...
standing here and spoke to them.
And they were looking this way?
Yeah.
And what did they look like?
There's an older man with gray hair and a white dress shirt and a black suit vest.
Like an old school bartender.
Who was also seen in the other room.
Walking down the stairs, that one?
No, that was a child.
Oh, what? You didn't tell me that.
Sorry.
The one that was walking down the stairs that the female bartender saw, that was a child?
Yeah.
Okay. No, it's fine. It's just great.
Do you know that there's a website where you can find out where people died? Like, if they died at an address? It's like $6. I did it at my house. Go ahead.
No,
I'm
I
sorry,
need
I
it.
interrupt you.
Oh my God, I need it at my childhood home. Go
This
on.
person seemed like they were waiting for something. Another older man, different description, was also seen by a different bartender standing here, just waiting. And like what you were saying about the echoes, or something where it's not necessarily something
Like a memory imprinted.
happened, but
Yeah.
what was it waiting for?
So you walk in, and he was standing right there. Did he look over at you, or was he
No,
just
no, no.
staring? Just
There was
no motion?
Yeah.
Which is why he talked to him, to be like, dude,
And he was
hey.
solid?
Yeah.
Did you feel weird? Like there was you felt something.
So after I spoke to him and realized that it wasn't an employee, I just, oh shit. And
Yeah.
Look-
looked
Looked
away and then looked back and was gone.
Isn't that
Which is
weird how
exactly
we do
what happened
that?
to the other bartender. She saw somebody standing here, realized it wasn't someone who worked here, like looked away, looked back.
It's the adult version of pulling the covers over your head. That's all it is.
Looking away?
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
adult version of I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
Like,
The person I saw was also seen in the other bar by another bartender just standing in the room.
how old would you think he was? Maybe like 60s or?
60s by 1940s standards.
Enough to have like gray hair and
Stocky or thin?
Thin, tall.
thin, tall.
Well,
So interesting.
there's another thing. There's this drop down here.
Yeah.
Can I get a picture from this angle looking up there?
Yeah.
There's this drop down.
Right there, that
Oh
stair.
yeah. So when you were I mean, you're quite tall. You're what, 6'4"? Yeah.
Good.
So
In heels.
yeah. So when
In
you
heels.
when you look over, were you guys like eye to eye?
No, it was about like right here.
Wow. Wonder what he was looking at. He was probably like, this bar looks like shit.
Well, there's a
Which, like,
door.
what is
There's
he
a
thinking,
door
you know?
right there. Isn't
The bar
there?
doesn't look like shit.
Is
just
there a door
FYI,
right there
but
or no?
That is a door.
Yeah, so maybe he was staring at the entrance
Watching
or
people
something.
come in, yeah.
Or was waiting in line for whatever this used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be too. Yeah, waiting for something.
Because there's
Crazy.
the other person
It is-
seen here also waiting for something.
Also waiting for something. Man, I wonder.
So I'll show you the bad part.
I wonder if, like, when we
gonna
sit
try
here
one more
and talk about these spirits, I wonder if they want to scream at us and be like, no, it used to be this.
So this was added on.
Ooh, I'm coming.
Oh,
This is another DJ booth.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So this.
Looks like a fuck dungeon. I I just listened to Dan Simmons' time, so
that's just storage, obviously.
Yeah.
This is underneath the floor. There's stairs that go down into the basement.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
This is the worst part in the building.
Let's go check it out.
Yeah, it looks terrifying.
Go take a step back
Just
there.
walk through it.
Did you notice that he said go take a step back there, and he's led us every other place that we've went so far?
So,
Yeah.
I don't know what you feel. Everyone else has had terrible feelings.
I'll turn my...
You do absolutely feel different. I do.
Let's just like stand here for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
My whole body feels different. You know how it feels? This is a weird description.
Static TV.
I was going to describe when you start coming up on mushrooms and then your body kind of starts
Static
feeling
TV?
different. Yeah, kind of. Well, that's a good way to put it too.
Yeah.
But like, you know that feeling of when you're like, oh yeah, I forgot we ate those. Like, that's totally how it feels right here.
When the back of your mouth starts to water.
Well, how do you describe that for someone who's never done a psychedelic drug? When you start to feel, it's like your whole body starts to feel like wavy.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like you don't know what you're making yourself feel because I feel like my back hurts a little bit back here. Like I know
Really?
that's weird.
Yeah.
But like in between my shoulder blades, kind of aches right now.
I don't feel it. My back doesn't hurt, but my whole body feels different for sure.
This whole side of the building feels depressing. Like it just feels depressing.
Yeah.
Like have you ever seen Kids? You know that feeling when you watch Kids? Like you're just like, this is sad. Like this is something
I need to take a
bad.
shower. This is
Yeah.
just too much. Yeah.
Requiem for a Dream, kind of like dirty apartment, grimy.
Have you seen a Serbian film?
No, I
Don't
haven't.
see it.
Well, and now I'm going to.
Okay, well, don't blame me. You did it to yourself.
I'm not fragile.
Rad.
This leads back into the bar. But there's the soul room back there.
Oh, these heads. Oh,
They're all busted.
that gargoyle. What is that from? Is that from... That looks so familiar to me. That second one over. Gosh. Is that from a Goosebumps episode or something? Because we got Pinhead here. This little kid one is creepy. Doesn't that look familiar? I don't know. Maybe
You get him at, that's Alfred Hitchcock. Along with Alfred Hitchcock,
Yep.
Freddy Krueger, Pinhead, Voldemort.
Oh wait, where's Voldemort?
Right there.
Second one over?
Angled, yeah, second one over the big one. That's Voldemort.
Oh.
No, it's Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say
Which
that
looks very similar. They both don't have noses.
Oh, I see what you're saying. The slit nose. Okay.
For me being
Stoker's
39,
Dracula.
that is
Got
probably
it.
the most millennial thing I've ever said. It's Voldemort.
That's okay. I asked if the Clive Barker art was local.
Yeah, so it does make me feel better. I'd like to think that one of these, so they blend these all in with ones that we know, but one of them is just a guy that somebody killed, and he took a death print of him and put it up here, and nobody else knows but him. And every time he walks by it, he's like,
That would
nobody
be
knows who that
rad.
is.
Or if one of these just turned. You're like, that happens sometimes. You just get used to it.
It's very, Disneyland on the house.
Yeah, but I love it. It's great.
Yeah, kitschy.
Yeah.
This is the most kitschy part of it.
Disneyland Haunted House is a good way of describing this place. In the best way, though. I mean, it's fun. Yeah, I'm going to come hang out here.
I mean, everyone who works here constantly sees stuff, but
Yeah.
because it's all mirrors and flashing lights,
I feel like it could be.
you just kind of ignore it.
Yeah. This is so cool.
Yeah, this is super neat. This little thing is weird for me too. I know that. Oh, that was me. I scared the shit out of myself.
She walked in front of this mirror.
Oh my god! I wish I would have been filming. That was hilarious. I didn't know it was a mirror.
This is a little chair here. What is
Oh
this? Is
my
just
God.
where people hang out
It
and
was
make
probably
out?
originally a box office. That's what I thought
Oh.
it was. This is
What
something
if
that
this
would
was
be.
a box office, and then if someone's waiting in line, they'd be waiting
Yeah,
right
that's what
there.
I said. It was like he was watching people walk in.
Uh-huh.
Didn't know there was a mirror there, so I walk in, look over, see myself, scared myself like a fucking dog.
I didn't know there was a mirror there.
Oh yeah.
Dog.
It literally made me go, ugh.
That was amazing. I didn't know there was a mirror there until I watched you get terrified of it, actually.
I was like, oh, that's me. This is cool.
But this is like a little love seat here. This is where you come and
This
do your
feels
neck
weird
in.
to me. I don't like this spot.
I like it.
No, I don't. I don't like it. That's what made me
I
walk
like it
into
because of the spooks.
Because I was like, I think this feels weird. And then I was like, oh, that's me. It was super
Who
creepy.
is that? Well, this is awesome. Thanks so much for having us here and maybe sticking your neck out some. I appreciate that.
Those are the stories I got.
Well, I mean, they're the best. I think first-hand accounts are better than any other, because it's like you can find a lot of stuff written
I
online.
want to do the walk that he was talking about.
Do the walk?
Yeah, it's right here. Yeah.
Hang on, Phil. Take me a minute, but
Oh, you're gonna do it.
Oh, shit. You don't. And by the way, if that's a pain in the ass, you don't have to do that.
no.
Okay.
I'm gonna film it.
You gonna film it?
Yeah.
Do it with you. Are we just leaving our purses on the?
Yep.
We'll come back. Yeah. Oh shit! That was scary.
No.
Yeah.
By the way, people that are listening, I don't know if you're gonna patch this in. He's turning off all the lights, and it's getting real in here. It's getting
We're
real,
turning
real.
off all the lights in Lovecraft because we're gonna do that walk from the bar to the door.
It does feel a little. It feels a little creepy in here.
Definitely
now that
does.
It's dark. Don't you feel a little, like a little bit more real? A little
And
bit
it
more
just
ominous.
keeps getting darker.
And darker.
He's turning off. He's awesome to do this and
Yeah,
go and turn off
amazing.
every single little light. Oh shit! Here
Okay.
it goes.
All right. It is creepy in here, and
It
I
is.
think you guys can see that it's daylight outside. It's like 95 degrees outside, and it is getting real in here. All right, Tad, you're it, Sarah. You
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay, so are we ready?
So he said to walk from back here. Like,
Okay.
So walk, do the real walk.
So we're gonna do the real deal.
And it's dark, you guys, but we want to keep it dark, so she's gonna. It's really dark in here. I'm glad that it is the middle of summer. All right, come from
We
behind
good?
the bar like you're gonna lock it up.
Okay, so I'm walking around. I would have just turned off all the lights, which is what he just did, and it seemed exhausting. And I'll come over here. Did you get that creak?
No, wait, it was dark too long. I was like, where is she?
There's like a middle room between this door and then like the actual front door. And you definitely have that feeling of like, I'm enclosed in here and maybe I should stay inside.
Ooh, I want to try.
Yep, you gotta try it.
Okay, so I'm coming around, and I don't want to talk while I do it. I'm gonna be quiet, and I'm gonna really try to like absorb the experience. So this is behind the bar. This is where bar people would do bar stuff. And I'm not gonna talk. I'm gonna walk around the bar to the door and really try to see if I can. You can't see anything here. It feels almost like it's so pitch black in that little room.
Yeah.
It's almost like nauseating feeling a little bit, like a stomach queasy feeling.
It's when you just realize that you're like alone in that little room.
Well, I knew I was gonna open the door, but I caught myself reaching for the handle to try to open the door.
Yeah.
And there were, I don't know why
I can't feel it.
Dude, I couldn't
The
find
handle.
it.
Me neither. Isn't that weird? Is
Yeah.
the handle hard
So
to find or
there's-
something?
I don't know, maybe we're like, you wonder if you're
Is it really not?
Maybe it's in a normal handle place.
Oh my god, we'll have to turn on the lights because I had the same thing.
couldn't find the
tried to
handle.
open the door to like
I thought it would be
outside.
interesting to open it so I could show how bright it was outside
Yeah.
and close it.
I
and
couldn't find the handle either. And so I just kind of hung out over there, and then I was like, well, I guess I'll come back in.
Ooh, they give me goosebumps.
That's really weird. Now I want to turn on the lights and see, where, or I can even just, I'll use my
absolutely
flashlight.
could not find the handle.
I want to see where it is now, though, because...
Holy fuck, it's right there.
Oh my God.
I was down
How
here.
does it, it's locked.
Yeah, but I was down here, and I was like, I didn't ever
Me
feel
too.
this.
I was doing this, but I feel like I would have,
You should take a picture of the handle so people know. Yeah, on this right here, I think this might be it. Like, this feels like...
Yeah.
I don't like it.
I love it.
Like, I'm not scared, but it doesn't feel comfortable. Like, I wouldn't want to hang out here.
I like it.
Well, no, I'm not... Yeah, I guess I like it, don't like it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it does feel different, though.
I hope you had so much fun at the Lovecraft Bar with Amanda and I. The Lovecraft Bar actively promotes progressive and challenging ideas in a city quickly becoming homogenized as it seeks to bury any part of Portland's alternative art and music scene by giving complete control and 100% of the door money to their performers. On top of hosting benefits for local and national groups like RAIN, Trans Lifeline, SMYRC, and Books to Prisoners, the Lovecraft Bar is also one of the only woman-owned bars in the city. If you live in Portland, Oregon, or if you just come to visit, you are absolutely not going to want to miss this awesome horror-themed bar. Check it out. Also, make sure you check out Amanda Arnold on Instagram with the handle @AmandaGraceFunnyFace, spelled exactly how it sounds. If you'll be in Portland end of September 2018, you can catch Amanda at Helium Comedy Club featuring for Dan Cummins, the host of the Time Suck podcast from September 27th through the 29th. If you want, be sure to check us out on social media too. You can find us with the handle @LitDarkPodcast. That's at LITDARK Podcast. Check out our website too at litdarkpodcast.com. We have new merchandise available now. If you have your own Laughing in the Dark merchandise, be sure to send us a selfie wearing it. We'll put you on the Instagram too. If you love this show, please subscribe. Give us a 5-star rating on iTunes and let us know what you love about it. It helps us out immensely. Special thanks for this episode goes to Sara Schneider, my manager, Jonathan Cooper, my graphic designer, Randall Lawrence, my producer, Nick Wilson at Bridge City Media and Design, Amanda Arnold, my guest, Frank at Lovecraft for showing us around Lovecraft and being all around amazing, and of course, as always, all of you for listening.
River City Podcast Federation.